Good afternoon, baseball fans. Welcome to Game 2 here at the Veterans Memorial Park in Plover as we get set for the second sectional semifinal. It is the Pacelli Cardinals taking on the Vikings of Gibraltar, Washington Island. Winner of this one will take on WIAA, 4 o'clock first pitch. That game right here on Zaleski Sports. My name is Mike Wendland. Bill Held alongside me. Braden Sutter on the production side of things. This is your Auto Select pregame show. Again, Auto Select, Stevens Point's best choice for auto repairs, maintenance, and tires with complete auto repair services. Locations on Church Street, Highway 10 East in Stevens Point, Schofield Avenue in Weston. No matter your automotive needs, look to Auto Select, and you're good to go. Bill, when you look at this game 2, if it's anything like Game 1, we're going to be in for a lot of fun. That was a thrilling game that ended in the most improbable way you can think of. A dropped third strike, an error, a pickoff turned into a stolen base, and then what could really probably have been a passed ball to walk it off for Lena.
It's baseball, man. That's everything that you want to see in a baseball game. Every run that scored was dramatic in some way, shape, or form. It was just young kids, right? And they're out there playing the game that they've played their whole lives, and you bring it all down to one day, 2 games one day. You got to win them both, or it's not worth the ride.
And what my favorite phrase in sports all time is back from the old wide world of sports, it's a thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. Both teams felt that in that 7th inning.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be a tough act to follow for these two teams, 2 very good teams in their own right as well. It's a great sectional. It's going to be a strong performance, and we're going to have another prime-time pitching matchup here between 2 guys who have thrown a lot of innings, who have struck out a lot of batters. Between the 2, they've struck out 161 batters, or 2 starting pitchers here.
I mean, looking right at that first game, the pitchers were the story, too. The whole game, it was 2 pitchers going back and forth. They had their moments where they got themselves in jams, and they just kept wiggling through it, working it out, trusting the defense, and getting key strikeouts. And I expect more of the same in this game. 2 pitchers that truly are up for the task, and let's see how it shakes out for the 2 of them.
Of course, your matchup will be Aaron Bry for the Vikings, Kelton Opper for the Pacelli Cardinals. So that being said, we're going to take a quick time out here from our friends over at Auto Select. We'll come back, we'll take a look at our lineups, get ourselves ready for the first pitch right here on Zaleski Sports.
When it comes to vehicle maintenance and repairs, Stevens Point knows you can always put your trust in Auto Select. Keeping up with vehicle maintenance is often an inconvenience, but with locations on Highway 10 East and Church Street in Plover, Auto Select will have you back on the road in no time. Enjoy their 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, along with shuttle service and loaner vehicles for your convenience. Quality, dependable, automotive care experts you can trust in Stevens Point, Plover, and in Weston. At Auto Select, you're good to go.
Your Auto Select pregame show continues as they announce the team's lineups. This has been your Auto Select pregame show. Get Auto Select at Stevens Point, special choice for auto repairs, maintenance, and tires with complete auto repair services. Locations: Church Street, Highway 10 East in Stevens Point, Schofield Avenue in Weston. No matter your automotive needs, look to Auto Select, and you're good to go. That being said, it's about time to take a look at our starting lineups. Brought to you today by Associated Bank, where in every market they serve. Associated Bank's committed to uplifting colleagues, customers, and communities to be stronger. For the Vikings of Gibraltar, Washington Island, and Coach Jay Kita, he will line up as follows. Doing the catching will be number 13, and leading off, senior Brady Kita. Batting second in center field is number 9, junior Cameron Mineo. Batting third, doing the pitching, number 12, junior Aaron Bry. Batting cleanup at first base, number 6, junior Owen Danhausen. Batting fifth is your shortstop, number 2, senior Bennett Isaacson Kruger. In the 6th spot in left field is number 10, senior Jackson Lindgren. Batting 7th in right field, number 8, junior Luke Rarica. Batting 8th is your designated hitter, number 15, freshman Hobbs Emerson, hitting for the second baseman, junior number 1, Mason Isaacson Kruger. And hitting 9th at third base, number 23, senior Liam Lindenberg. Again, Kita, Mineo, Bry, Danhausen, Isaacson Kruger, Lindgren, Rarica, Emerson, and Lindenberg for Gibraltar, Washington Island. Record of 20-5 in the Packer Atlantic Conference, as we just found out, a very tough conference for the Vikings.
There's some good teams in this conference. Boy, I tell you, Kiwani, Algoma, Gibraltar is in there. Oconto currently, not currently, just came up short today in sectionals, but making a sectional. Southern Dora, notoriously a good program year in and year out, and Sturgeon Bay, a larger D2 school mixed into that conference. It's a competitive conference right through it.
And the home team, representatives of the Central Wisconsin South, record of 23-4. Here's Coach Wayne Sankey and the Pacelli Cardinals. Leading off is your shortstop, number 1, senior Melise Badoon. Batting second in center field is number 7, sophomore Jaden Garski. Hitting in the 3 spot at second base, senior number 3, Lucas Hammerly. In the cleanup spot at first base, number 10, senior Tomas Yomura. Batting fifth is your DH, number 9, junior Nate Hammerly, hitting for the pitcher, number 8, left-hander Kelton Opper. In the 6th spot, doing the catching, is a sophomore, number 2, Eric Renke. Batting 7th at third base, number 12, sophomore Sully Schober. In the 8th spot, in right field, is number 5, sophomore Bryce Flaker. And hitting 9th in left field is number 6, senior Braden Flaker. So it is Badoon, Garski, Hammerly, Uemura, Hammerly, Renke, Schober, and Flaker squared for the Pacelli Cardinals, with Opper on the mound. And again, Pacelli coming in, they finished second, they battled with Pittsville all year long in that CWC.
Yep.
They end up sharing the conference. They split their season series 1-1, and we were talking with some of the coaches up here as well. How cool would it be to see those two, for Central Wisconsin fans at state, to maybe play each other the rubber match for a gold ball?
Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, it is possible, right? That's how this all works out. And again, there's always feelings and emotions brought into all that stuff, but if both teams do make the state tournament, it would be pretty special to see those two meet. And, I mean, like you said, a rubber match. Game 1, I believe, was a 1-run game. Was it 1-0 or 2-1 early on in the season on turf in a cold game?
In Rapids. And Game 2 was 1-0 in Pittsville.
Right.
So they were both close.
Just great ball games between the two. So obviously pulling for both to make something special out of today.
And of course, Pittsville playing, they'll be in action at 4 o'clock in a sectional final. They'll be taking on Highland or Bosco. Right now, Highland leads that game 3-0 in the 3rd over at Blair Taylor. Steve Maves down there with Joe Anderson.
I believe that one was a 6 seed and a
6 and an 8.
6 and an 8. Good for them to pull some upsets and get some new names into the sectional tournament.
And again, your starting lineups are brought to you today by Associated Bank. Where in every market they serve, Associated Bank is committed to uplifting colleagues, customers, communities to be stronger. Left-hander Kelton Opper getting his warm-ups in. Look at his numbers. He's making his 10th start. He's 8-0 with a .56 earned run average. 81 strikeouts, 23 walks in 50 innings, just 23 hits allowed this year and 4 earned runs. His 7 runs total. And for those of you in the know of baseball, the stat whip, walks and hits per innings pitched, is under 1.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. All those metrics across the board are pretty successful and pretty impressive. I've also been the head baseball coach at Amherst High School. We play a doubleheader with Pacelli. I got to see him up close, and just overall, he's one of those pitchers that hitter after hitter would come back in the dugout, and they'd be just frustrated because it doesn't feel like you're overmatched. It just feels like he's got some kind of just something over you. It's like he can mix in all these different pitches that you just don't know what's coming. It makes you off balance, and it's pitching to its finest. It's the way it's supposed to be.
I'm saying, if I remember right, Kelton's going to be just across town next year.
Yeah, he's playing for the Pointers next year, and it's going to be a good thing for him. Obviously, his dad Corey has been a staple with the Pointers for a few years now as a pitching coach and knows his baseball. We've just got overall good baseball around the Stevens Point area, so really good for Kelton to make it to that level.
I mean, really just the WIAC in general. Obviously, national champion came from the WIAC this year. That might be the best conference in Division III in America.
In the country, yeah. And it's
been
that way for a while, even dating back to when I was in high school at Whitewater High School. Just knowing the college and knowing the guys who come and go. 05, 06, 07, right around that area. And I believe they won another national championship right around 08. So just really good teams, really good baseball all over the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, so as we get our final throw down, we're just about to get things started here. 328 down the lines, 372 to center. Wind blowing more toward left center, it looks like right now.
Flags are definitely going to left field. We'll see how that factors into the game as it goes along.
If you hit the school, most years I would say I would go down and high-five you personally, because it's playoffs, I don't want to get kicked out. And because I've seen it happen a couple of times now where players have hit the school with a home run.
I've seen a few. Well, you and I have played here enough that we've seen some things on this ballpark.
For sure. As here comes Brady Kita to lead things off, leader in hits, at bats, and stolen bases. The catcher. As the first pitch of this sectional semi is a slider in there for strike 1.
Starting off speed, that's an interesting first move. Love it, though. I mean, introduce something new. Anyone jumping the gun would be caught off guard here.
Kita hitting .388 this year, 14 RBIs. Leads the team with 33 run scores. He gets a fly ball into right center. That's down. And a base hit to start the ball game for Kita. Good piece of hitting.
off the bat, I thought that was going to catch a gap and continue to roll, but we mentioned during the first game, the grass here at Memorial is usually thicker. Even though it's well mowed, it's well groomed, the ball still tends to slow down as soon as it hits the grass here.
And with that wind blowing more toward left, too, it kind of hung up there a little bit. He didn't quite get the full barrel on that swing.
Right.
As here is Cam Nail, the center fielder, hitting .371. So we get a throw over to first.
Kelton with a very good pickoff move to first base as well. If Gibraltar ends up trying to steal at some point, they're going to have to go first move, or they're not really going to have much of a shot at second.
And this is the guy who's going to do it. He's 22 for 22 in stolen bases. But he does not have much of a lead as that fastball's in for a called strike. Again, Mineo, .371 hitter, .522 on base. Team high 17 walks that he has drawn. Exactly what you want from your two-hitter. He squares to bunt, and he bunts it. It's a good one down the first base line.
Tough play.
Backhand is
safe. Call him safe.
It is a base hit. Beautifully done. I couldn't quite tell. But so Mineo with the bunt hit. And now here's a chance for Aaron Bry to help himself. Hitting .310. He's got a team high 30 runs batted in for the Vikings. Might as well that from our friends at Delta Dental, one of the premier employers in Stevens Point, now hiring for multiple roles, so work at a fast-paced environment with a flexible hybrid schedule. Apply online now at deltadentalwi.com. That's deltadentalwi.com. And that's in for a strike.
Good hitter here, obviously batting in the 3-hole. Pacelli still not trusting that. They were up for a bunt and now dropping back as we speak. They're back into a regular formation.
Yeah, Bryce, he's an extra base threat, team high 9 doubles. Is that one outside, and it's 1-1. And 9 doubles, a team high 30 runs driven in.
Opera, of course, willing to use his off-speed pitches in any count.
He sets up third base side of the rubber. The 1-1. Now he squares and he bunts it right back to the mound. Only play first is made. The sacrifice is successful from Bry. And they're at second and third with just one out for Owen Danhausen, who is their leading hitter this year, .403. He started off red hot. He's faded a little bit as the season went on, but he is still a very dangerous hitter, and he's been very good. 7 doubles as well for him.
Coach Kita for Gibraltar, of course, they're just giving Aaron Bray 1 strike to do some damage, but with 1 strike on him, decided with the 3-hitter to lay one down and set this up. Second and third, 1 out.
Corners playing in for Pacelli. That one misses up and away, ball 1. And again, we saw this in game 1. We're going to see this in this game as well. Both these teams are going to roll their starters as long as you physically can go. You're going to get the full 100 pitches out of these guys in this game because we've said it all day long. You cannot win 2 without winning 1. Up and away, 2-0.
One other note here, and again, every coach does things a little different, but I always like to just remind my runners here, second and third with 1 out, extra aggressive. Even a comebacker to the mound, making it out at home still gives you a first and third situation with 2 outs. You can still manufacture runs later.
That one is a strike, but it gets right through the glove of Renke, and a run is in. A passed ball will bring home the first run of the game. Two and 1 the count on Danhausen. That one just got right through the glove of Renke. And just like that, the Vikings are up 1-0. Swing and a miss. Fastball past him. It's 2-2.
Catching is always hard work, and the hardest part about catching, if you put it all together, is that you can't take a pitch off. Every single pitch matters so much. It's so crucial.
That one fouled straight back. Still 2-2. And you were talking about being aggressive, and I was about to say, too, when it's second and third, if you're on the runner on second, you're telling him also don't get too far and run the guy off.
Right, yep.
But Kita across to score the first run of the game, and there's a ground ball up the middle.
Just putting it in play is a big one there.
That'll get the run in on the ground out. So Danhausen drives in the second run of the game. 2-0 in Gibraltar, Washington Island here in the first for Danhausen, RBI number 15 on the season. So here comes Bennett Isaacson Kruger. The shortstop, he's got 23 runs scored. He's hitting 227. He's driven in 10. Big contact hitter, leads the team in sac flies. More walks than strikeouts. He takes a strike.
And, of course, that wild pitch, of course, scored a run, but just as important, put the runner on third with 1 out. Now a ground ball did score the run, whereas that wouldn't have gotten 2 runs out of that if we could avoid that one.
There's that backup slider. 0-2. That's the big thing is that you said like a pass ball moves the runner up, and then baseball compounds things. There's a ground ball to third. Schober steps, throws, picked over at first by WIAA for the inning. 2 runs, 2 hits. Nobody left for Gibraltar, Washington Island. They lead it 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the first on Zaleski Sports, presented this afternoon by Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
Bottom half of inning number 1. Right-hander Aaron Bry getting his warm-ups in. Reminder as well from our friends over at Stone Innovations. For the best in countertops, cabinets, flooring, and remodeling, look no further than Stone Innovations. Whether it's residential or commercial, redesign, or custom built, learn all that you need to know at stoneinnovations.net. Aaron Bry on the year making his 17th start of the season in their 26th game. That is unreal. He's 12-3 and 81 in a third innings. 80 strikeouts, only 59 hits allowed. A 1.64 ERA. He has hit 6 batters this year. But he has been a workhorse in every sense of the word for Coach Kita.
That much action. I mean, that's a lot on a young arm, but boy, he looks like a great athlete. Obviously performed very well, and looking forward to seeing what he does today.
As he misses up and out of the zone on Melise Badoon. And, of course, any pitcher in stirrups, you know he's going to be a good athlete. There's that breaking ball, missing up and in. It's 2-0. He does have 22 walks in 81 innings, which that's a fine number for 80 innings thrown.
Yeah, it's about on par with what you'd expect.
Working from the windup, first base side of the pitching rubber. Swinging away, fly ball to center. Ranging back with a play. Calling the catch is made by Mineo for out number 1. That'll bring up Jaden Garski. Garski hitting .380. Tied for the team lead, 25 RBIs out of the 2 spot. Speed threat mostly. Only 2 extra base hits among his 30 hits. Ground ball right back up the middle. Isaacson Kruger is there. Steps, throws, 2 up, 2 down. Now bring up Lucas Hammerly. Hammerly leading hitter, .436 this year. 34 hits and 78 at-bats, 4 triples. As well, that the Dahl family vehicles has been earning 5-star reviews since 1911. Now they'd like to earn your 5-star review at their new Dahl Honda and Dahl Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealerships in Stevens Point. Learn more online, dahlauto.com. That one outside, ball 1 on Hammerly.
Hammerly is just a nice overall hitter. Good approach to hitting, stays up the middle with it, tends to pull the ball on off speed, like most guys do. But just able to use the whole field. Really willing to go the other way with an outside pitch.
And it's funny because when I made our stat sheets for this game, the first game both teams were pitching and defense oriented. Both these teams are both over 300 hitting as a team this year.
They're just both very complete teams too. You can see it all throughout the order. There's good contributing hitters at all parts of the order. Good pitching, well coached. Just everything's the way it's supposed to be. Good baseball here.
1-2 on Hammerly. And he rolls it to third. Nice big hop, steps in, throws in time for out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Bry and Gibraltar, Washington Island. And they lead it 2-0 after one complete here on Zaleski Sports, presented this afternoon by Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. And Mike Lemon here with Bill Held, Braden Sutter. Game 2 of this sectional semifinal. It'll be the final coming up at 4 o'clock. It'll be the winner of this game taking on the Leno Wildcats at 4 o'clock first pitch. Winner of that game will be going to Fox City Stadium next week in the state tournament. And we're around for 3 of the 4 Division IV sections. We've already seen Pittsville go to the regional final. They're going to take on the winner of Basketball Highland. Actually, you didn't get a chance to see the Solon Springs one. That was getting close late.
Starting it off, number 10.
Get that one shortly for you guys. It'll be Jackson Lindgren starting things off.
And obviously, if you missed it, Lena over Aquinas in game 1 here today.
4-3. And it is Northwood Solon Springs moving on. They'll take on either Edgar or Rib Lake. Over in Athens as their strike one called on Lindgren. Again, Pittsville will take on either Basketball or Highland. Highland leads that one 5-2 in the 4th over at Blair Taylor. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Chippewa Falls got a win earlier. They run-ruled Hudson, or Hudson run-ruled Chippewa Falls, I should say. Hamilton took down Menominee Falls. And there's strike 3 called. Good morning, good afternoon, good night for Jackson Lindgren. Opper gets his first Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout of the day. Call Jamie Wenzel and Serve Pro the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro like it never even happened. One down for Luke Rarica, hitting .270, the right fielder in this game. That one will miss outside with a fastball. Also just getting underway, top of the first. Eau Claire North and DC Everest over at Buchholz. First inning in Oconomowoc as there's a swing and a miss. Arrowhead and Germantown. Germantown leads 1-0, bottom 1. Yes.
Opper working ahead here, really pummeling the strike zone. Just looks like he's confident, comfortable, and locating it the way he wants.
As that one fouled off. Agreed. Don't forget as well, you'll be able to see all the sectional finals as well here on Zaleski Sports. 4 o'clock. So again, 15 games by the end of the day today. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeouts for Kelton Opper. 2 up, 2 down here in the second for Hobbs Emerson. Emerson limited at bats, only 30 at bats, but he's got 8 RBIs in those 30. He's .333 hitter.
Really looked like, as I mentioned, locating the way he wants, but Kelton also noticed a struggle with the inside fastball in the last batter and was able to execute there. Stayed on that inside part of the plate the whole at-bat.
He misses up and in. Ball 1 on freshman Hobbs Emerson. Pulls the hands in, follows it back, 1-1. For all of your tire and auto service needs, look to Shearroll Tire and Auto Service. Great deals on tires that fit your needs. It's a sure thing to get back on the road. That's at Shearroll Tire and Auto Service. That fastball is right there, and it's 1-2. Again, we had a great crowd in Game 1 and great crowd as well here in Game 2. Again, no better way to spend a Tuesday. That one fouled behind home plate. Count will remain a ball and 2 strikes.
Most parents and fans would agree the only difficult part about a sectional Tuesday is that it's during work.
Yeah.
Navigating your boss is the hardest part of baseball on a Tuesday afternoon.
Breaking ball fouled off. And across, he almost got the police SUV going down the road. And it lands about 15 feet short of my car. So you park under the trees. The tree will break the fall. The 1-2. Another one fouled off. And that one gets into the trees across the street. They're making Opera work. This will be pitch number 30. That time he goes with the almost like a sweeper down and away, doesn't get the chase. Good at bat from Emerson here in the 8 spot.
He's battled, and again, for a freshman, especially in a big moment, he's not overly used to these things, but he looks comfortable and doing a great job fighting.
And he's worked the count full. Again, Hopper, 23 walks in 50 innings this season, coming into the day. And he misses down and in, and that is a great at-bat from Emerson.
Yeah, if nothing else, again, when you're facing good pitching, you got to make sure pitch counts are one thing, but just making sure he's laboring, right? Making sure his arm feels like it's going to tire as the game goes on. So just one good at-bat, even with 2 outs and nobody on, good at-bats have impact on the long-term part of the game.
And also here, you get the 9-hitter up, you can flip the batting order. As then that's outside on Liam Lindenberg, the third baseman. Hopper out of the stretch. That one sails up and away. It's 2-0. So he had Emerson 1-2. He fouled off a couple, and then that's 4-5 consecutive out of the zone.
And then, as mentioned, the 2 batters before that to lead off this inning, he was locating very well. And again, sometimes a long at bat and trying to mix it up can just have a way of making you lose your way on the strike zone.
That one's in there. It's 2-1 on Lindenberg. As well for our friends at Infinity Exteriors, installing peace of mind, roofing, siding, and windows built to last, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. They guarantee quality that you can trust. There's strike 2, fastball in that outside corner. 2-2 now on Lindenberg. And he chases that high fastball. So Hopper gets 3 Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeouts in the inning. He does strand a runner. And after an inning and a half, it is 2-0 Gibraltar, Washington Island. This sectional semi on Zaleski Sports, presented by Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
Rich, creamy, and fun. Point Craft Soda. Caffeine-free, made with 100% real sugar. From Stevens Point Brewery.
We move on to the bottom of inning number 2. It'll be Tomas Wimura, followed by Nate Hammerly and Eric Ranke, 4, 5, and 6.
Number 10, Tomas Umera.
As Wimura, who has had quite the senior season, he's going to be going on to Bryant Stratton, hitting .393, on base .578, mostly because he's been hit by a pitch 16 times. That sounds familiar.
My kind of guy.
And he turns on one, hits a high fly ball into right, but just missed it, and it's 1 pitch and 1 out. Here in the bottom half of inning number 2, Pacelli's got a game plan. They're swinging early and often against Bry.
Yeah, it's a sign of a good team, too, right? We're not relying on the pitcher to give you anything. You're just looking to take matters into your own hands and knock the ball around the park.
That one up and away on Hammerly, the DH. 1-0. He's going to roll one to second. Throw just in time by half a step, and that's out number 2. So 5-5 down, 3 ground outs
The catcher, number 2, Eric.
for Bry so far. Here comes Eric Ranke, the catcher. There's all the cheese pleasers in Bancroft, a local hidden gem filled with all the finest cheeses, snack sticks, cheese curds, cheese trays for Wisconsin's finest cheese. Stop at Cheese Pleasers, right off I-39 in Bancroft. They appeal, and he wins. Strike 1 called. That one down, went with a breaking ball there, 1-1.
Check swing's always a fun part of baseball.
Half the crowd's going to love it, half the crowd's going to hate it.
The old half and half. You can always tell.
And that one in there, it's 1-2. There's a line drive into right center, a base hit. Reinke sends it right back up the middle. 2-out base runner.
Base hit for Reinke brings up the third baseman, Sully Schober.
And we will wait to see if we're going to see a courtesy run for the catcher. We will not, looks like. And so here comes Sully Schober. And he has a big swing and a miss.
Good pitch location. Working ahead, locating that outside corner. Not a bad spot for running here. If you were going to give it a try, 2 outs is not a bad time to get yourself into scoring position.
That one outside. Ball and a strike on Schober. Bryce Flaker on deck. Hoping to get a chance here in the second. That one missing out. It's 2-1 now. On Schober. Schober and Reinke, 2-year starters as sophomores. And when he chased the elevated fastball, 2-2 now. Coach Wayne thinking about getting as close as you can from the third base coaching box to home plate. That one fouled back. We'll try it again. Gets any closer, he's going to be in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, coaches' boxes, the lines they draw out, not exactly where coaches tend to stand.
They're more guidelines than actual rules. That one will miss up at the letters. It's full now, 3-2, so Reinke will be in motion on the pitch. But this is one where you got to make sure that he starts his motion.
Yeah. A little bit tougher when you're at second base, just that inside move to second base. You got to wait an extra split second there. But here at first base, you shorten your lead up a little bit. Make sure he lifts his front leg, and then you're off and running.
And is fouled back. We'll try it again. Marzella Whitetail Properties Real Estate, your premier hunting land, farmland, recreational land broker. If you're looking to buy or sell, Central Wisconsin agents are Brian and Evan Roosh at whitetailproperties.com. And a big thanks to all of our great sponsors this season. And there's ball 4, and Schober draws the free pass. So 2 on for Flaker.
Number 5.
Bryce Flaker.
Flaker.
Not to be confused with Braden Flaker, who's on deck. The 2 corner outfielders.
Really wanted that call. You could just tell the body language, just a little upset that was called a ball, but it was the top of the strike zone or just over the top.
And there is a strike, and it's 0-1. And we've seen that now in both games, is that high strike really hasn't been there either game. If it's borderline, it's probably not going to get, but that low outside corner has been called today.
The outside corner has been something that, again, you should at high school ball expect to get about a baseball size off the corner. And then the low strike's always difficult, really difficult for the umpire to call.
Up and down is always tough.
They've been extremely consistent at the top of the zone, so they're doing a great job.
And there's that breaking ball swung on and missed. And it's 1-2 on Flaker. That was a nasty curveball.
See if he's got one more in his tank here. One more would be a good moment for it. Looks off balanced.
And if he doesn't swing this one, then you go to the high fastball. Or you go to the high fastball now.
Yeah, reverse, right? High fastball there, and now
you go to the curve.
Now you got the option, right? Use the curveball.
I see some of the Lena players coming back in, sitting behind home plate with their coaches watching the game. That one misses. The count runs full again. So again, the runners will be off. So it looks like the Wildcats, who maybe when they got some lunch, hung out, going to come back to the ballpark, getting themselves ready for the 4 o'clock game. And ball 4. So with 2 outs, it goes single and a pair of walks.
Brings up left fielder number 6, Braden Flaker.
Here comes Braden Flakers. We'll get a mound visit from, looks like Coach Nick Kita.
Nick Kita on his way out, yep. We had a chance, you and I both got to talk to him, but head coach Jay Kita, Nick's dad, likely in his final year. Is that what he mentioned?
He said
probably his final year as the coach there. And he and I just had a good discussion about when your kids grow up and they leave high school ball and they go off to play college ball, just how important and special it is to be a part of that and being able to go watch it yourself. So just one of those moments in Coach Kita's life where he'd like to enjoy watching his kids play ball.
Well, that's one thing. You got Coach Nikita, then you have the youngest Brady Kita, who's the catcher.
It's a family affair, and Mama Kita, she does the book. She keeps the game changer and stays with everybody and keeps everything glued together. So congratulations to the Kita family on having a wonderful baseball family.
Family day at the ballpark. As Flaker takes ball 1. So Bryce starting to be a little bit wild now. He said he gets those 2 quick outs on 3 pitches, and now he's struggling to locate a little bit as that one hits the inside corner. Gave up the single on a 1-2 pitch to Renke, but then worked full counts on Schober, and Flaker walked them.
Just missing, too. The 3-2 just tells you he's hitting and missing right now. He's just got to breathe and bear down, get through this moment, because as you know, one more out, base is clear, and you're free sailing again. You can come back out next inning and start up fresh. So got to wiggle through this first. Pacelli within a big opportunity.
Ground ball up the middle. They flip to second. They get the force.
Very nice play.
Both Isaacson Krugers up the middle work together to get the force. 6-4 to end the inning. Pacelli gets a hit. They leave him loaded. And we have played to complete. It is Gibraltar, Washington Island 2, Pacelli nothing on Zaleski Sports, present Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Are you tired of being a boring old tree, bird, or mythical war hero? Find the right job for you at Express Employment. Stop today and discuss positions that fit your abilities and qualifications, leading you to the perfect job. Always local, always strategically selected to match your skill set with local employers. There's a perfect job out there. Let Express Employment professionals help you find it. In Wausau, Stevens Point, Medford, and Marshfield. Find jobs and apply online at expresspros.com.
Hi, I'm Josh Barks, owner of Infinity Exteriors. 9 out of 10 brand new roofs can't pass a simple manufacturer warranty inspection, meaning 9 out of 10 brand new roofs have no warranty. Infinity operates on principles instilled in my Marine Corps service: honor, courage, and commitment. Infinity is meticulous craftsmanship, unbeatable quality, and always at the best price. Infinity buys more, pays less, passing those savings directly to you. We're booking new roofs, siding, and windows. Call today.
Top half of inning number 3. Kelton Hopper back out to work. He's going to face the top of the order. Kita, Mineo, and Bry. For Gibraltar, Washington Island. Again, winner of this game will take on the Lena Wildcats at 4 o'clock for a chance at state.
Pretty awesome privilege. I mean, and just getting 2 sectionals in a single loss elimination baseball tournament. Baseball is just the kind of game, as everyone knows, the ball bounces your way sometimes, and other times you do everything right and it just can't go the way you need it to. But just getting to sectionals is such an accomplishment, and looking forward to finishing out this one and another game after this for a trip to state. It's just a special thing to fight for.
And you talk about sometimes it bounces your way, sometimes it doesn't. All you got to do is look at game 1. Lena led the entire way. They probably outplayed St. Thomas Aquinas the entire way. They lost the lead in the 7th. They tie it up on a hit from their 9 hitters. There's a strike on Brady Kita.
Couple mistakes.
A stolen base.
That's how it's supposed to be.
A stolen base, a drop third strike, thrown into right field, brings in the tying run. Then he steals third when he's picked off, and a pass ball ends the game. Like it's just one of those things where, to quote Bull Durham, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it rains. And for the Cavaliers in the first game, when it rained, it poured. 1-1 on Kita. He singled and scored back in the first. He's up in the count, 2 balls and a strike.
And even the runs, we're talking about the back and forth at the end of the previous game, even the run in the first inning came from a walk, a stolen base, and then a bunt that just went the wrong direction for Aquinas in that first inning.
Popped foul, and that'll play. 2-2 now on Brady Kita. Again, Kita, who has been the do-everything. He's played in every game. He leads the team in at-bats, in hits, and plate appearances. Also catches every game. He takes one up and away. Count runs full.
He's also got that poof going. What I always talk about with our high schoolers, they got the poof coming out the back of the helmet.
We've seen that. We saw that a couple times in the other game, too, with the long hair out the back of the helmet. Swing and a miss. Opper gets him out on strikes. That's his fourth Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout of the day, his fourth consecutive strikeout. As here comes Cam Mineo. He singled and scored back in the first. Right, the Little Scholars and Little Scholars Beginnings are two beautiful child care and preschools in Stevens Point, offering early child learning infants through 4K. You'll find great facilities and a comfortable environment to help your child grow. To learn more, visit littlescholars.com. 1-0 on Mineo. 2-0. Fastball kind of sailing on Opper. Just underway over in Athens, Edgar and Rib Lake, game 2 in that sectional, as there's a strike. DC Everest took a 1-0 lead just across town against Eau Claire North. And that hit him. Mineo. Kelton Opper trying to say he chicken winged it.
Yeah, it's always a tricky one, and obviously Mike and I have made a reference or two that hit-by-pitches are certainly part of my version of baseball. I like to lean in a little bit more, but I always make the excuse, it's because hitting's hard. When you see off speed, you have to be able to hang in there even if you don't know if it's going to break or not. So just difficult a lot of times. The pitcher always feels a little bit burned when that happens, but I think it's a fair baseball play.
Here's Bry, as that one sails just a bit outside. The wildest of wild pitches will get the runner to second. And another threat for the Vikings here in the third. Runner in scoring position, just one out. Bry dropped down to sacrifice his first time up.
Obviously a big wild pitch there, too. That puts the runner in scoring position, and there's a lot more ways you can score from second base than you can from first. So
also raises a potential double play. Pacelli's got pretty good up-the-middle defense with Badoon and Hammerly. It's 2-0 on Bry. Three and 0.
Kelton Opper's 50th pitch of the game. He's halfway to the century mark.
Through 2 1/3. And that's one thing. Gibraltar, Walsh, they have 3 players with 30-plus innings. Chile has 5 with at least 11. They have, as that one misses, ball 4. Some pitching depth. Of course, you want to roll with Opper as long as you can.
I would
second
say
walk.
Opper for sure is their number one.
Without a
They've
doubt.
turned to him every game this year, so he's the guy you want out there. It's just a case of you got to have all hands on deck. And again, you got to win this game, but there's one more you have to win today. So the strategy there is, do you use your number 2 in a game like this one, or do you have to save them? Kind of each team is going to have a different setup, a different coaching philosophy. So
and then part of those factors in also is your number 2 a senior. Like there's those little things too. Like you don't want to have a senior not pitching in his last game when he's available.
Right, doesn't help you there, and he's gonna want the ball. Right, he's obviously fighting for his high school career. So yeah, I mean all those factors, all of them weigh in.
So here is Danhausen. He drove in a run with a ground out. As that one is missing, and that is 8 straight for Opper. Because it was a 2-0 pitch that he hit Mineo, then 4 straight against Bry, and now he misses up and away. As misses have been up, too. And he goes to the breaking ball and misses.
Trying a breaking ball there is probably the right idea. You can just do something different. Repeating your mechanics isn't helping you, so you got to try something there. I appreciate that he's trying to locate a different pitch.
As it is, still 9 straight. will not be 10. So Rick Vaughn's record of 12 straight to load the bases still holds. That one fouled away, first base side, 2-2 now on Danhausen. As the Vikings threatening here in the third, already up 2. They scored 2 in the first, 2 hits. And another one fouled off. And again, working the count really well, even going back to the first inning. Danhausen's first at bat was a 2-2 count. Multiple full counts, or 2-2 or full counts in the second. A lot of deep counts here in this third. They're making Opper work. Ground ball to short, could be 2. 6, 4, 3, double play. So Opper gets out of it with the double play ball. Badoon to Hammerly to Uemura.
Well, that's a big double play there. Again, obviously pitching his way through the hardest inning he's had yet. Really huge for Pacelli to get out of that thing.
No runs, no hits, 1 left, 2.5 complete. Gibraltar, Washington Island leads 2-0 on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Hello, Wisconsin. Phelps Dairy Store in Stevens Point is your spot for family fun. Wisconsin style at the farm. Come have an ice cream or some of their daily made fresh cheese curds while observing the robotic barn milking the cows. Ask for a tour of the farm or let the kids see the cows up close. Various Wisconsin-made dairy and beef products, seasonal decor, and outdoor activities are just the start of the family fun that awaits you at the Phelps Dairy Store, just a half mile from Walmart in Stevens Point. Phelps Dairy Store, food, family, and fun.
And the most important of those things is to have the ability.
Selling your car to Dahl Auto is quick and easy. Bring your title and keys, and you'll have a check in as little as 30 minutes. Still owe money on your vehicle? No problem. We'll take care of it. Dahl Auto. Simple.
Mike Wellen here with Bill Held here from Memorial here in Plover. Braden Stone on the production side of things here for Zaleski Sports. Bottom half of the third, it'll be the top of the order for Pacelli, Badoon, Garski, Hammerly against Bry. Bry, 33 pitches through 2 innings. Through 3 innings, Opera at 57. And we had some high pitch counts in game 1, and both pitchers got through 6.
Yeah, I mean, the pitching's been good, but both pitchers have shown an ability to lose sight of the strike zone. So let's see if we can keep the ball on the corners, and top of the order here is a good chance for Pacelli. Second time through the order is always a big one.
Yeah, as Badoon takes strike 1. He flew out to center his first time up. And there's that high strike, and it's 0-2. Again, Nicolay Bank, personal banking at its best location, Stevens Point, Wausau, Colby, Medford, Edgar, Merrill. Learn more at nicolaybank.com. The 0-2. Pop straight back in, out of play. We'll try it again. I did get a chance to talk about the beginning of the game. Badoon leads the team in at-bats, RBIs, walks, doubles. 349 hitter. So he takes strike 1, ball winner, all-conference player.
Probably leads the team in double plays as well, defensively speaking, that was a big one last inning.
So he pops that one up right field side and out of play. Particularly an interesting mix of veterans, seniors, and sophomores, really. Just one junior, and that's Nate Hammerly. A bunch of sophomores. 6 seniors, as there is a ground ball. Nice play at short. Isaacson Kruger, long throw, not in time. If he would have made that throw, I would have been calling Major League Scouts. That would have been a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from the hole at short.
I mean, he had a
great play to get there.
Great job getting the glove on it. That's obviously step 1. Step 2, it just took him an extra step or 2 to kind of get his balance and put something on the throw. So that's the hard part. If he could have kept his footing a little bit better, he'd have had a shot at him.
That's one of those things as well that not a big difference, but again, playing on a different field than you're used to. Maybe the turf's a little different, the grass a little different, the dirt's a little different. You don't want to slip and fall, and then you throw it into the bleachers or toward the radio guys on top of the dugout.
There is that, too. He still made the throw and still was accurate. So really not doing any harm by giving it a shot and seeing if he could complete a big play like that.
Yeah, I mean, senior, trusting your arm, trusting your ability. As Garski takes a strike, it's 1-1. Garski, on the first pitch he saw, grounded out to short back in the first.
Brady Keita behind the plate with a good, strong throwing arm. In between innings, I've been kind of keeping track on the pop time, and he looks like he's a capable catcher of throwing somebody out.
He's caught a lot of innings this year, 163 of them, essentially. I think he's caught pretty much every inning this year when he hasn't been pitching. So he's pitched 30 innings. As there's a pop-up first base side foul territory. And that's foul. 1-2 on Garski. So he's thrown 30, so he's caught about 130 innings, give or take. As a team, Pacelli, 128 stolen bases this year. They do like to run, but doing 24 of 26. And we talked in the first game a lot about the first and third play. This team runs it maybe more than anyone besides maybe you. There's a little flare into right. That's down a base hit. Right fielder was playing shallow. It didn't matter. Garski dumps one into right field. 2 on, nobody out for Hammerly. Again, Hammerly, among his 34 hits, 9 of them have gone extra bases this year.
First and second, nobody out, and obviously a good hitter and the 3-hitter, but also
do you think about
left-handed. I'd be thinking about it, but that's everybody. Each coach has a different philosophy.
Especially, and he does square, and he pops it up, and that's going to drop.
Still got the play at third.
And Bry's going to make the play. So a good idea just did not quite work. So the fielder's choice will get Hammerly to first, Garski to second. Badun had to hold in case Bryce gets there. It's no man's land. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, the pop-up off the bunt is always a difficult one. As a runner, when you see the ball go up, it's a red light right away. You got to break, and there's nothing you can do about that play.
And again, good play. The ball just carried off the bat, too, even on a bunt. As Waimura takes ball 1, he flew out to right his first time up, hit it fairly well.
Pitch was high. That also is what leads to a popped-up bunt, is the bat coming up to meet the ball a lot of times if the pitch is high.
It's 2-0 on Tomas Waimura. Bry fixing his sock there. Now when he takes 2 and 1.
Not sure if Gibraltar is going to be in position for a double play here. Second base very deep in the hole by first base.
If it is, it's a 5-6-3, which you don't see very often. It's 3-1 on Waimura. Yeah, they're playing Waimura to pull for sure.
Everyone's in the pull formation except for the left fielder
and third base.
And they've got to stay home with runners on base.
Yeah, but yeah, the 5.5 hole is wide open. So he fouls that one away, third base side and across the street. Count will run full. The Cardinal first baseman. Bry looks back and misses. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Nate Hammerly. He grounded out to second base his first time up.
Looks like Gibraltar's going to go corners up.
Corners in, and I don't think does not look like they're going to go double play depth up the middle.
No, they're still sitting in the pull formation with the second baseman kind of pulled toward the first base side of the field.
As Hammerly, with the one-handed cut going for the scoreboard, comes up empty.
Got to respect Hammerly's abilities, capable of putting the ball over an outfielder's head. They do have right field backed up pretty good.
And it's quickly 0-2. Bry looking to work out of some trouble here. Couple of hits, a walk. That one spikes, and a good block by Keita behind the plate. You can tell just a natural catcher with squared up, kept it in front.
Seems comfortable, too, with the ball in the dirt. It does a lot for a pitcher to have that confidence in your catcher.
And a fastball right down the middle, swung on and missed. That's 2 down.
That out's a big one there. It allows the corners to back up again, gives you a little better range in the infield, keeping the ball in front of you.
And that'll bring up Ranke. He did single back in the second, back up the middle. Chance for the sophomore catcher. That one outside, ball 1. Yeah, you talked about Opper, high pitch count. Bry getting up there as well, 55.
Yeah, I mean, bases loaded for the second straight inning, I believe. He fell behind last inning and ran into some traffic problems.
And all of that was with 2 outs in that second inning. It's 2-0 here. Here it's been from the start. Badoon and Garski singled.
A couple base hits got this inning started, so really it's a different kind of jam that he's in here, but same result. Bases loaded. He needs to be at his best right here.
That one right in there, top of the zone, 2-1. Because really, you go back, he got 2 quick outs in the second, then it was hit, walk, got the fielder's choice on a close play at second, then hit, bunt, walk, strikeout. So it's been
a struggle, but that's how baseball should be. Now it looks like dialed right back up, and on a 2-2 with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
And he's comfortable working up in the zone, which is what you need to do sometimes.
You need to do it. It also can be dangerous.
And that one fouled off. That got our umpire right in the mask. He's good to go, though. On a cold day, that's not the best feeling, but these masks have been designed so well.
They don't hurt.
No, they don't. And as he chases that high fastball, a swing and a miss. And after loading the bases with 1 out, he strands them loaded. No runs, 2 hits, 3 left. We have played 3. And it's Gibraltar, Washington Island leading it 2-0 on Zaleski Sports, presented by Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
And the most important of those things is to have the ability to do things and treat patients in such a way that you're, that you're able to do things in such a way that you're controlling the decisions that are made, and you have that ability to change things when you feel like they're not the best things for you or for your patients, and that's really important.
For the best food in town, look no further than Rock and Roll Cafe on Stanley Street in Stevens Point. This locally owned, 50s-themed diner loves to support their community while providing a full menu of breakfast and lunch options, along with all-day breakfasts and Friday fish fry. Enjoy a fun, family atmosphere with delicious meals made from scratch, including skillets and tasty burgers. Dine in or take out is welcome, Mondays through Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Treat yourself to a mouth-watering experience at the Rock and Roll Cafe on Stanley Street in Stevens Point.
As we get set for the 4th inning, take a quick look around as Opper waits for his catcher to get out there. In the 2nd inning, Edgar leads Rib Lake 2-0 over in Athens. Over in Oconomowoc, it is 4-0 Germantown over Arrowhead going to the bottom of the 3rd. At Buchholz, DC Everest leads Eau Claire North 1-0 in the 3rd. And over in Blair Taylor, Highland all over Bosco 8-2 in the 6th. So that one looks like it'll be Highland and Pittsville in the sectional final. Cardinals and Panthers going head-to-head. As for Opper, he will face Bennett, Isaacson, Kruger. Be 5, 6, and 7 here in the 4th, followed by Lindgren and Rarica. Might as well if we're home with the best from home furniture, sofas, sectionals, beds, recliners, lighting, tables, rugs, and so much more. Home furniture locations on Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, Post Road, and Plover. That one fouled back. It's 0-1.
Good aggressive approach from Bennett there. Looking for the first pitch fastball.
He grounded out to 3rd back in the 1st inning. That one spikes off a home plate. I don't care how good of a catcher you are, you're probably not going to block those when it skips off the plate itself.
It takes a little luck.
Any spiked fastball, you just put your glove out and hope. more often than not. That one outside, it's 2-1.
Couple of Splash Panthers down in the front row here catching some of their buddies that they play summer ball with.
Yeah. And we'll be here all summer long throughout the Wisconsin Valley Conference, American Legion Baseball. Of course, for a lot of the teams, they got to wait until season are done. So a team like DC Everest, they have a lot of, obviously, Everest players. Everest playing today. If they make it to state,
yeah,
you're going to have to wait a little bit. Same here. Last year, Plover didn't start late because Pacelli was at state, mostly because their coach was there as well. That's fouled back.
Yeah, it's one of those things that not allowed to play in the WIAA playoffs while also playing for any other team. So you're exclusive. Once the playoffs start, you're totally exclusive to your high school team.
Swing and a miss. That looked like a changeup.
And then during season, you are allowed up to 2 games where you're allowed to play for another team during your high school season before the playoffs begin. Only 2. Any more than that, you'd be declared ineligible.
Good to know. Good to know those rules. And no one knows better than you. And that's another serve. Pregame wins a strikeout number 5 for Opper. Again, coaches study the rule book more than anyone.
It's our job, right? We've got to be prepared for any moment, any situation.
Exactly. Of course, again, all summer long, we'll have American Legion Baseball here in mid-Wisconsin. We'll have the regional tournament over in Wisconsin Rapids, middle of July. And there's a strike. 0-2 on Lindgren. And we'll have the state tournament over at Buchholz Park.
Legion State Tournament, that's always a ton of fun.
That's always a
lot of fun. Teams from all over the state, one place, whole bunch of baseball, a bunch together.
As there's a backdoor slider, strike 3 called. Another serve. Pregame wins a strikeout for Opper, number 6 for him. And, of course, last year, talking about rules, we had some scenarios last year that went haywire. Ended up with our champion being crowned before championship Saturday.
Same kind of stuff, right? Different league, but
eligibility rules, yep.
Got to make sure you understand the eligibility rules, and obviously rules exist for a reason, right? Trying to create an even playing field for everybody to compete.
Absolutely. Of course, Eau Claire will trying to defend their Legion championship. The 1-0 on Rarica is missing down. It's 2-0. As last year, Eau Claire and De Pere went to the national regionals. That one outside with a fastball, and it's 3-0. So after back-to-back strikeouts, he's fallen behind 3-0. That one didn't miss by much.
No, not by much. And the one before, it was an off-speed pitch, bottom of the zone, and you could just see a conversation between Reinke and Opera about trying to make an adjustment and get into the strike zone here, and they do so on 3-0, now 3-1.
3 balls and a strike. Swing and a miss. He went back to that outside fastball and is full, 3-2. Opper, despite being over 70 pitches, still got that good velocity.
He's locating it well, too, just overall. I mean, once in a while he loses sight of his target, but then there it is. He comes right back, gets back on track, and takes things into his own hands.
And he strikes out this side. He has 7 strikeouts through 4 innings. Nothing across for Gibraltar, Washington Island, but they do lead it 2-0 on Zaleski Sports, presented this afternoon by Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Dad the ultimate gift this Father's Day with Skill Power Tools from Menards. They're built for power, precision, and portability. From drills and drivers to sanders and saws, Skill delivers advanced performance and durability with the convenience of cordless technology. Plus, the PowerCore 20 battery powers every Skill 20-volt tool for ultimate versatility. Get this Skill 20-volt cordless drill driver kit for $64.96 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
At Ridgetop, we are your trusted, local, affordable exterior renovations expert. Isn't that right, Bo?
Exactly, especially when we are working on someone's biggest investment.
Can you give us an example, Bo?
Well, there was this house. We replaced the roofing, siding, and windows. Then, they left a 5-star review.
One of our thousands of 5-star reviews?
Exactly.
For your free, no-obligation estimate, call us today or go to ridgetopexteriors.com.
We're halfway through this one. We go to the bottom half of inning number 4. Again, Mike Wondon here with Bill Held and Braden Sutter. For Pacelli, it'll be the bottom of the order. Schober, Flaker, and Flaker. Against Bry, who's ready to go. And he goes off speed and gets a swing and a miss to start the inning. And Bry, when we came back, he was already on the mound. He's ready to go. He's got the guy where if time is called, he's not stepping off. He's just going to stay there and wait for you to get back in.
Bry also noteworthy. We went to commercial break at the end of 1 inning ago. His second straight inning pitching out of a bases-loaded jam without giving up a run, and he was amped up and firing up his team.
He gets a pop-up on the infield over to second. Mason Isaacson Kruger makes the catch just on the outfield grass for out number 1. So here comes Bryce Flaker, who drew a walk his first time up. And again, Bry, only a junior. So he'll be another go-to guy again next year, along with Danhausen, Mineo, Rarica, all juniors.
Gibraltar looks to have plenty coming back to be pretty tough again next year.
As Flaker lines into the gap in left center, that's going to split the outfielders and extra bases for Flaker. That's going to get all the way to the wall. He will stop at second with a one-out double. As Flaker puts a good swing, he's on base for the second time today. But you're right, the Vikings are in good shape. It'll be interesting to see how they replace Kita behind the plate.
And that's always so important, right? I mean, that's
especially
a lot of guys coming back.
In like a Division 4, Division 3.
Right. The running game is so difficult to control on that level.
Finding a catcher is worth its weight in gold.
It's pretty. I mean, it's a difficult position. There's a reason it's so difficult to find one that you can trust, but it really speaks well to Kita and his hard work to become as good as he is behind the plate.
As there's ball 1 on Braden Flaker. Might as well, just like these players are bringing their best to the ballpark, Ridgetop Exteriors brings top-tier performance to your home, roofing, siding, windows, and doors. As there's one grounded to short. Throw to first is low. It's dug out at first base by Danhausen for out number 1, or out number 2, I should say. Runner does go to third on the play. So again, Ridgetop Exteriors, they have the winning strategy to protect your home. To learn more, visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
Coach Sankey's going to come out and have a conversation with the umpires here. He's going to ask about keeping his foot on the base and just double-checking that there was indeed an out at first.
Yeah, he's walking all the way across.
Yeah, he's trying to approach the umpires respectfully, but he's allowed to ask. Umpire reaction is, what do you want me to do? I think he was out.
Yep. Exact same reaction we saw in the 7th inning of the last game on the drop third strike.
Right, right. And again, that's umpiring is hard too, right? They're doing the best they can. You got to call it how you see it, and you got to stick to your guns. And I believe in this case, and again, I believe it was the right call. It looked like a clean scoop.
I think so too. As Badoon takes ball 1, I think so. I thought it was good. I think the only question would have been, was he bobbling it maybe? Because that might have been the ankle that Coach Sankey had. Was it bobbling in his glove? As that one gets through, and that'll bring in a run as Flaker will dive in with the first run for Pacelli on a wild pitch. Cardinals on the board after the one-out double. And that makes – I was going to bring it up, too. With that ground ball last time, that was a risky play to go second to third, a ground ball in front of you.
Yeah, it was a mistake is what it was, a base running mistake. But defensively for Gibraltar, just not able to make that adjustment or not able to – go after the lead runner for crossing in front. Typically, as you said, you're taught a ground ball in front of you as a runner on second. You don't usually advance.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You don't. It's 3-1 on Melise Badoon. He singled back in the third. Yeah, ball in front of you. If you go, you're asking to be told to sit on the bench for a little bit. As there's strike 2, or next day of practice, you see those foul poles. You're gonna run to them over and over again.
Keep touching them. Keep touching.
As Badoon draws ball 4. And again,
only
Bryant.
ball 3. It's a 3-2 count. They're going to bring him back. It was only ball 3.
I had it as ball 4. Yeah, we had it at 4. Because the only thing is, did they not count the one that got through?
No, I mean, I thought it was 3-2. I was with the umpire on this one, but we have it on video.
As he will then drive it into right center. That's down. Badun's going to take a big turn and hold there, so he ends up in the same spot anyway. Just to help the batting average. And he makes Bry throw an extra pitch. So here comes Garski. He is singled and grounded out in the game. I was going to say, though, with if he had walked in Bry, a guy who doesn't walk very many, he has walked 3 today.
It's usually a sign of good hitting, too, right? There's more than one reason why what happens.
That one is up on Garski, ball 1. Only 2 strikeouts for Bry. That one hits the corner, 1-1. Again, just looking as both guys approach 80 pitches. The next guy in innings is Isaacson Kruger. Bennett Isaacson Kruger, who's doing 38. Runner going on a delayed steal. The throw is in time, but he's in there. Mason Isaacson Kruger cut in front of the bag. If he maybe plays on the bag, they probably get the out.
Probably do there, but yeah, I mean, he was also a little late getting there as he got in front of the base. Just a little late, so he couldn't react to the throw and where it went.
And that was when I went to my first game this year. It was in WIAA, Pacelli, WIAA, Fremont. Coach was talking. Wayne Sankey was talking about how many different steals they have. They have the delayed steal. They have that was a designed delayed steal for Badun. Garski fouls that one back.
And as a coach, what you're looking for, you're just getting a feel for the feel of the game. A lot of times people fall into these routines, right? The runner is not going, so the catcher kind of falls into a comfortable routine, and then you're just trying to take advantage of that.
There's a line drive into left field, a base hit. They're going to send the windmill. The throw is getting to the cutoff. Man is going to get all the way through. Badun dives in, and we're tied. And Pacelli fired up, heading back to the dugout, and it's a 2-2 ball game as that delayed steal comes around to score on the RBI single from Jaden Garski.
Coach Sankey with a late send there, but intentionally. He got in front of the runner, and he's just reading the throw and the momentum of the left fielder. That thick grass comes into play again.
Exactly. I was going to say the exact same
thing.
Up. And the throw was low. He threw it. He did what he do. You want to throw it through the cutoff man.
Yeah, that extra half second it took, Coach Sankey saw he had to slow down to make sure he had possession of the ball in left field off the ground, and took advantage of that, sent the runner, and it worked out great.
As Lucas Hammerly takes a strike. So now go ahead and run over at first base. Garski with good speed. And that is popped up left field side, long run, foul ground, and chasing down and almost toppling over the fence. Great play and left by Lindgren to end the inning, and that hurt.
That's a big catch, big long run. What a play. Really tough ball to get to.
2 runs on 3 hits in the inning and a runner left. We are through 4. It is 2-2 on Zaleski Sports, presented by Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Maida Custom Apparel, your local source for quality, custom decorated clothing and products. Discover a wide range of products from corporate casual wear to team uniforms, promotional items, sporting goods, and awards. Don't settle for less. With our in-house production, we will make your name or event stand out with custom sports jerseys, branded cooler bags, and personalized can coolers. Celebrate team success with custom awards and promotional items. At Maida Custom Apparel, we put your brand first. Explore your options today at maidacustom.com.
The Auto Service Specialist at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service can change your oil, fix your brakes, align your vehicle, make that check engine light go away, and more. Great service from great people at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
We move to the 5th. Opper back out there for another inning of work. We do have, though, some action in the bullpen for Gibraltar, Washington Island. Bennett, Isaacson, Kruger starting to throw down that left field line. So it looks like he will be the next man up, which then leads to believe, depending on what the pitch count would be for him, would he start, stay where he is and then start the next game, or would they go with Brady Kita?
you got to know your players again, right? So the answer really there, I would say you have the chance to bring them right back. Either way, it's a bit of a layover, though, so it's not going to be consecutive.
But not as much as if you were Molina, who has a full game between. If it's 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you can cool down a little bit and then throw again. As that one outside on Emerson for ball 1 here in the 5th. It'd be 8-9-1, Emerson, Lindenberg, and Kita. A brand new ball game, 2-2. 2 runs on 6 hits. For Pacelli, Hopper allowed ground ball to right back to him. He's going to hustle over, underhanded across to Uemura for out number 1. He allowed the first 2 hitters of the game to get hits. Those are the only hits he's allowed. He's walked 2, hit a batter, and struck out 7. So here's Lindenberg. He struck out back in the second. He's 0 for 1. As well as Stevens Point Orthopedics, proud to provide complimentary sports physicals to Central Wisconsin athletes this summer. Call 715-344-0701 to schedule your appointment. Again, 715-344-0701. 0-1. 0-1 on Lindenberg. That one a touchdown.
Whole new ball game, 2-2 now. Starting all over again in the 5th.
Again, a lot of that work done with 2 outs. There's a swing and a miss, 1-2 on Lindenberg. Because really look at it, Flaker had the 1-out double, but then he went to throw a ball in front of him, so 2 outs.
Yeah.
All those runs scored with 2 outs. All Badun and Garski with the hits. That one just missed in. 2-2. He fouls it back, stays alive. Again for Pacelli, as Opper's pitch count climbs up. Options to follow him, I think maybe Hammerly, Uemura. I think probably Tomas Uemura, who is thrown in 9 games, hasn't started a single game. He's been a bullpen arm over at first base, and they may just switch spots.
That's what they've done throughout the season. Most of the time is Uemura's been a
shallow miscommunication. That drops. Hammerly and Flaker. No one called off the other, and it drops right between them.
Yeah, and obviously the way you want to draw that up is infielder takes charge and calls it if he can get to it at all. Outfielder calls him off, and then infielder's supposed to get out of the way if the outfielder says anything.
For sure, and a ball like that, that's right field all the way.
It should be right field coming in, but again, it's a difficult one. It's a high school play. It's one of the many challenges we face in high school baseball is feeling comfortable when you could be in harm's way.
Call it a Texas leaguer. So that one outside as we go back to the top of the order with Kita. Kita singled and scored back in the first. He struck out in the third. So Lindenberg aboard. Not much of a lead over at first. That fastball hits the corner. Big pop of the glove.
We gave a lot of credit to Kita as a catcher on the Gibraltar, Washington Island side of things, but really you got to hand it to Ranke too.
Agreed. He had the one, and he makes a nice block there. He had the one hiccup in the first inning on the pass ball that got through him, but since then he has been steady. He's been, again, for only a sophomore, caught a lot of innings. We've seen him grow the past couple years covering this team.
Right. And Kelton Opper just doesn't have to worry too much about the running game. It's not been a factor.
As there's strike 2 on the corner. 2-2 now. There's a line drive, caught. No play back at first. Out number 2. Hit it right on the nose, right at Hammerly.
Yeah, it's baseball right there. There's 8 guys out there looking to field the ball. You don't hit it at them. If you hit it at them, you're going to be out.
If that doesn't survive baseball, I mean, the batter before, a little bloop into shallow right that probably should have been caught. Wasn't. This time you hit a rocket right at the second baseman's forehead.
We love when that happens. That's what baseball's all about.
There's one ripped foul off the face of the first base dugout by Mineo. Once again, we're in the book. Lindenberg's hit was 110 miles an hour. Kita's line drive was 3.
And that's how it goes. Backwards all day long.
That one down low, blocked. I reckon 87 for Opper that he's thrown. So yeah, I think if he gets through this, he can probably have him go out and start the 6th.
I mean, I think the right idea is keep your best pitchers on the mound while you can, right? Because if you take him out now, he's not going to come in later, most likely. And that just being use what you got while you have it.
Exactly. Backdoor slider, 1-2 now on Mineo. Junior center fielder. Line drive, diving catch by Badun at short, ends the inning. Up the middle defense, shining for Pacelli in that inning. No runs, a hit, and a runner left through 4.5. It is a 2-2 ball game on Zaleski Sports, presented by Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
I got referred to the orthodontist, and I was really nervous, but in my 2-year process, the staff was very welcoming and very kind to me. My brother also had treatment here, and he was very happy with the smile. I'd recommend Bruce Orthodontics to all my friends and family that want a beautiful smile just like us.
When I come in for my appointments, the wait is really short. All of the workers are very kind and sweet. They try to make sure that everything in my mouth is just right after my checkup, and Dr. Bruce is very nice.
I'd love the opportunity to meet you and transform your smile.
Call us to set up your free consultation today.
Is it time to replace your old gutters? Call Schwartz Seamless Gutters and protect your home with new seamless technology. No seams, no leaks. With free estimates in 2 days or less and workmanship guaranteed, our service is as seamless as our gutters.
We go to the bottom half of the 5th. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for Pacelli. We do have an update. We do have one sectional final locked in here on Zaleski Sports. Over in Blair Taylor, it will be Pittsville taking on Highland at 4 o'clock in the sectional final. We had Steve Maves and Joe Anderson down there, or up over in Blair Taylor for that one. Highland taking on Boscobel 9-2, the final in that one. So Tomas Waimura, who has walked and flown out, will lead things off. So he pops that one up sky high. Keeter trying to find it. He's got a play, and he can't hang on. He thought it was out of play, and I think he handed the umpire his mask.
Yeah, it looked like a mass confusion off the bat.
Mass or mask confusion?
Both, right?
I guess a little bit of both.
When he located it, too, that's such a tough play, especially when you get a late jump. As a catcher, it's not the angle you might have seen.
And again, saying from a little bit from experience, that is the hardest play for catcher, is one that's straight up. If it's back toward the fence, you feel better because you know where you are. There's a ground ball into right field, a base hit. So Waimura takes the new life and gets the leadoff single. Go-ahead run over now at first base for Nate Hammerly. Hammerly 0 for 2, ground down to strikeout today. Might as well find a great variety of breakfast options at the Rock and Roll Cafe. Breakfast, lunch, Friday fish fry, service with a smile. Open daily for breakfast and lunch, only on Stanley Street in Stevens Point.
One of my favorite restaurants in Stevens Point area. Rock and Roll is fantastic.
Agreed. Always pay cash. As Hammerly squares, pulls it back, takes a strike. Because it's what, 3% off or something like that, or if you pay cash?
About 3%. Yeah, that's they got some signage in the building. What a cute little restaurant, though.
Absolutely, it is truly rock and roll. As that's fouled back, and it's 0-2 now. It's got all the old posters and old gold records. It's
a lot of Elvis all over the walls.
Very, very friendly staff.
And it's locally owned.
Mm-hmm.
So just a great guy, and his wife just loving it. And then more than that, too, uncles and aunts, everyone's involved there.
With 2 strikes, he gets the bunt down. Only played a first, so with 2 strikes, sacrifice successful. That's trusting your hitter to make the play and get that go-ahead run into scoring position.
Didn't look like a great bunt off the bat, but it does get the job done.
Yeah.
All you got to do is get it down and get a good jump for a runner.
Yeah. Yep. And Keto also hopped out pretty quick.
Yeah, he was on the ball. Just tough play to do anything but first base with that one.
So here's Renke. He is singled and struck out. He takes a big cut, comes up empty for strike 1. 2-2 game, go-ahead run in the form of Waimura over at second base. Strike 2 on the inside corner. Uemura, he has stolen 18 bases this year. He's 18 for 20. The 2-0, or 0-2 I should say, is fouled back. Always get confused looking at the scoreboard because it's number 2. Right now it just says 20-21. Now 21-21. Unfortunately, on the scoreboard, we cannot get to the year 25-25.
Don't have that many outs in an inning.
Well, if you have some errors. Floats up the curveball. That was almost an eephus-like 2-2.
Took a little off it, and it looks like he's trying to locate a little too much. Just got to rear back throw it, right, extend your arm, get on top.
And now he's fallen behind. Or he's now taking it full, 3-2. Reinke singled back in the second. Inside, or wheel back to second, and nothing working there. No matter what your everyday life looks like, Fleet Farm has you covered. The best prices guaranteed. So auto, pet, even bird, farm snacks. Fleet Farm has everything you need at the lowest prices. Swing and a miss. He went to the high fastball, gets the strikeout. Out number 2, third strikeout for Bry. Now a chance. Sully Schober going to try and bring this run in. He is 0 for 1. He walked back in the second. He popped up to second base back in the fourth. Another multi-year starter just as a sophomore. But a swing and a miss. Reinke as well, kind of a little bit late. It's a little bit of a longer swing.
Yeah, it just looked, like anything, you got to find a way to shorten up. You need a bat on the ball here with 2 outs, runner in scoring position, just need to put it out there.
You make the defense make a play. As that one misses up. Bry over 90. As he misses up, 2-1. And their reliever is currently at shortstop. They'll probably just switch spots. It's 3-1.
Bryce Flaker waiting on deck.
And he had a booming double last time. Again, winner of this game in about 90 minutes will take on Lena. As that's ball 4. First and second for Flaker. And I saw Lena still hanging out and see the coaching staff sitting in the front row behind home plate. You had a chance to talk to them after game 1 with a live post-game interview thanks to the walk-off by Shallow. That one in there, strike 1 called. And Flaker, it was the first pitch he swung at back in the fourth with 1 out that he doubled. Came around to score on a wild pitch. And now he's quickly behind, 0-2.
Pitch number 96, a breaking ball. Right over the middle of the plate.
Bry bearing down.
Now he's got a fastball in and a breaking ball in. This is the old rocking chair situation, tough to hit.
Then he goes high fastball, 1-2. Do you go down low and away here?
Depends how much you trust your catcher, right? I think that's where I would try and go.
He does, and he lines one into left, but right there is Lindgren, who's made a couple nice plays in left field today, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, and 2 runners left. We head to the 6th in a 2-2 ball game in this sectional semifinal on Zaleski Sports, presented by Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
We have team members in our lives, whether it's this or that or friends, and he's my team member that look for my best interest. And he said, we're going to get you up walking without the walker. And I'm like, oh, really? And he says, yeah, we are. I'm really grateful from the bottom of my heart to Shai and his staff because they made the impossible seem possible.
Call to set up a free, no obligation evaluation. Next Step Prosthetics, the fit for you.
In every department at Dahl Auto, you'll find people who've been in the industry for decades. Sales staff with a deep knowledge, not just of cars, but how to build relationships. A service team who always double checks each other's work. Dozens of people you may never meet who've been working for years to make buying and servicing a car feel fast and easy. In over 100 years at Dahl Auto, we've learned to value experience. After working with our team, you'll value our experience too. Dahl Auto, simple.
We go to the 6th. 2-2 the ball game. Again, Opper had 89 pitches. Where's that? 83. 89. As we get set for this one. Again, you think of who you next. The two main options would be Hammerly or Wimura. I would tend to think probably Wimura.
I would think Wimura or Umura.
Wimura,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Wimura. That would be my bet. Just mainly also because Hammerly probably scheduled to start game two.
Yep.
You don't want to necessarily disrupt that if you have a comparable option.
And then you'd have Hammerly and Badoon in game 2.
Right.
So it'll be 3-4-5 for Gibraltar, Washington Island here in the 6th. It'll be Bry, Danhausen, and Isaacson Kruger. As Kita is getting loose now for the Vikings in their bullpen. Warming up with the shin guards on.
Bry currently at 98 pitches, so you
I
can
love
see
it.
the story here, right? He's going to come in after 2 more pitches.
He'll face the 9-hitter, Flaker, and then the new pitcher will come in and face the top of the order.
Right.
But I just love Kita warming up with the shin guards on.
Pitching with the shin guards on.
That is awesome. I wish that was legal. Any ground ball, I'm just kicking it away. Bry today does not have an official at bat. He's dropped down to sacrifice and he's walked. That one outside, ball 1. Arizona Maida Custom Apparel specializes in providing quality decorated apparel, including corporate casual, team uniforms, and promotional items to sporting goods and awards. So find just what you need to keep you looking great as that one fouled away. Learn more, MADAcustom.com. That is Maida Custom. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors.
Gibraltar as a whole, though, today also just noticeably a lot of things to right field.
That one swung on and missed.
That just speaks well to Kelton having good velocity today, feeling good, and putting the ball on the hitters before they may be ready.
That's another thing that they were talking about between innings is he hides the ball really well.
Yeah, I mean it's just I use the word tunneling. Right, it's being consistent where your release point is versus where your mechanics are and how well you can keep the ball hidden from the hitter's eyes as long as you possibly can.
So his fastball plays faster than it is. And he still throws pretty hard. The 1-2. Roller foul toward third. We'll try it again.
Those are always a little tricky for a third baseman. Obviously, you got to go make the play.
Yep.
But that second hop and a ball that's punched into the ground like that, always wondering that second hop if it's going to come up or stay down.
Or is it going to kick to the side? There's a lot of little things for sure.
A lot of craziness can happen down a baseline.
The 1-2. And when he misses up and away with the breaking ball, 2-2.
That's always a release point issue right there, right? That's one where you're yelling out at him, got to extend your arm, right? Release point out in front. Reach for the plate when you snap off a curveball.
2-2. Strike 3 called. Hits the knees for out number 1. His 8th Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout of the day.
Number 6.
Along with a couple of walks, 3 hits, 2 runs. And also hit a batter. Here's Danhausen. He's 0 for 2. He does have a run batted in. He fouls that one back. Last time up, he grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. One of the turning points of this game.
Kelton Opera now at 96 pitches as well, so creeping up there. Could be his last hitter.
So really, we're really hoping that he can get an out the next really probably 2 pitches.
I mean, you're gonna basically just got to get this one out before before going too deep into the count.
Yeah.
Every pitch matters, though, here.
Yeah, nice. He has 2 pitches to work with.
Now he has 2 pitches to work with to be able to face the next batter.
Might as well that Shuda Funeral Services, Stevens Point and Plover, here to help you with all of your funeral needs. 2 convenient locations and a personal local touch. Let their experienced staff serve your family. Learn more, ShudaFuneral.com. Again, ShudaFuneral.com. Just down and away. It's hard to tell from this angle if that's that backdoor slider, if there's more of a changeup.
Yeah,
it almost moves like a changeup.
He is a 3-pitch pitcher, so it's just difficult from up here to tell which off speed he's using.
That one just looked like it kind of tailed that one down, and this will be the final batter for left-hander Kelton Opper. So we will see a new arm that will face Bennett, Isaacson, Kruger here in the 6th. And his final pitch is a strikeout and a yell from the mound for Opper. He gets 9 Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeouts on the day as pitch 100 on the dot. Gets the punch out. The call to the bullpen has been made, and it looks like
Yep, he's going.
Looks like Hammerly is going to get the ball. So they're going to go with Hammerly. Waymura will go to second. Opera will go to first. So Hammerly will try and close it out, and then you got to think if they move on, he would maybe just hang around and start game 2 for as long as he can.
Yeah, arm care is a different kind of thing, right? Certain people are going to feel uncomfortable doing that. Other people it won't bother them. So, you got to know your players and know what they're comfortable doing, and easy enough decision. You have to win this one or later it doesn't happen.
Agree. And then another thing as well is that much of the thing that helps a little bit is you do have over a week now between games.
Absolutely. You're playing for 2 today and nothing else is in your mind, right? Next week can be next week.
Yeah,
we'll worry about that when we get there.
You get through today, you're not going to practice tomorrow. You're probably not going to do much on Thursday. You'll take some swings, stuff like that, but then you really jump back into it Friday over the weekend.
It's typical plan right there. I'd even consider maybe a Sunday afternoon light BP session. Just want to make sure you're staying focused, but you're correct. The 2 days after sectionals is such a big, it's an emotional day anyway. You just got to have a couple of days to recover, get yourself back on track, and then get the team back focused on the next task at hand.
And again, this pitching change in today's game brought to you by Blinds and Designs by Kelly, Premier Auto Body, Dahl Automotive, Stevens Point Brewery, Lee Ayers Jewelers, Point Heating and Cooling, and Portesi Pizza. So as Hammerly gets loose, again, making his 10th appearance, his first appearance out of the bullpen this year. He's 6-1 with a 203 earned run average, 40 strikeouts in 38 innings, giving up 11 earned runs during that time. He has walked 19. But again, one of those guys, Pacelli more than most teams, especially in these lower divisions that have a lot of guys who play 4 or 5 different positions. An example is someone like Tomas Waymura started at first base. He's at second. He's played third.
He can pitch. There's a lot of different ways he contributes to a team.
Hammerly the same way.
Yeah.
He can DH. He's just hitter. Hitter's hit. Ranky can pitch a little bit. First one is a called strike on Bennett, Isaacson, Kruger. 0 for 2, ground out and a strikeout.
Bennett felt that one was a little high.
That one was a little high. And after this pitch, we'll give you guys a couple quick updates. That one high and tight, 2-1. Over at Bucco Park, DC Everest up 6-0 on Eau Claire North in the top of the 5th. Winner will take on the top-seeded Hudson Raiders at 4 o'clock. Germantown up on Arrowhead 7-2 as there's a strike. That over at Dockhound Stadium, a beautiful field down at Oconomowoc.
Yeah, that's a nice venue. Holy cow, I saw some pictures of that field yesterday, and pretty impressive facility.
Yeah, Matt and Elijah down there for that one. Buckled him, froze him, strike 3. So between Opper and Hammerly, they strike out the side. Hammerly gets his first Serve Pro Jamie Wenzel strikeout. And we are through 5.5 in a 2-2 ball game. On Zaleski Sports, presented by Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Shuda Funeral Home in Stevens Point and Plover is your local, family-owned and operated funeral home providing families with compassionate, individualized, and affordable services when you need it most. The loss of a loved one is a difficult fact of life that Shuda Funeral Home will ensure you won't have to face alone. Shuda Funeral Home will guide you through the process from in-person visitations to creating obituaries and tributes. Pre-planning can also be a great way to ease these topics for your family. Learn more at shudafuneral.com or bring your questions and stop in.
After a couple years of this, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That's where Midstate Technical College comes in. Got a passion for helping people? Maybe you like cars. Are you into science? Are you good with computers? No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options. Stop getting by and level up today.
Number 6, Braden.
We go to the bottom of 6. It'll be Braden Flicker to lead things off, and what will, well, very likely we'll find out in about 5 seconds if this is the last batter that Bry will face. It will, as that's ball 1. I guess I was probably also under orders to take that one, and that's 1-1 now. That is 100 for Bry. So both pitchers get into the 6th despite having to work through the really early portions of this game. Ground ball over to short. Isaacson Kruger, a long throw is wide, and he's going to be safe. Question is, how do we rule that one? I tend to think hit because it's in the hole.
Oh, I think it's a hit all the way. The third baseman may have had a shot. If he could have cut it off, he would have had a better chance at getting the runner.
Yeah,
but obviously once it sneaks past third base, that's already it's going to be a good odds that the runner's going to be able to beat that out. I thought he had it beat if the throw was there.
I think so too. It would have been bang bang if the throw was there. But again, yeah, ranging to his right, that's a tough move, and I think the call is going to be going to Kita. Who's going to pitch?
Yep, it looks like he's cleared out of the catching area. Their backup catcher
is
can't
slowly
see a number yet, so he's on his way out.
Doesn't look too thrilled to be out there.
I think he's got some time to kill. He knows his.
Well, I think so too, but also like catchers, you're sitting in the gear all day.
Yeah.
We're warming up in the bullpen. All of a sudden, now you're in.
Yeah, it looks
I
like
think that's Charlie Reinhardt.
Yep, he's a freshman catcher. So one thing you're going to see here is bringing in your catcher to pitch always has an impact on the running a game again.
Yep.
You put a backup catcher out there. It just changes a lot of different parts of the game all in one move here.
But now I do wonder, is Reinhardt just going to warm him up? Well, Bry goes and gets the gear on to catch because you want to keep his bat in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question.
And it looks like he's getting catcher's gear on in the dugout. So Kita.
Yeah, it could be. We don't quite know for sure what they're going to do yet. And here he comes. You're correct. They're going to keep him in the game by just switching the pitcher and the catcher. Pacelli
saw this as well. Tiger did the same thing. Pitcher catcher are your top two arms, so you just flip them.
Yeah, and Amherst we did the same thing against Crandon in our final game of the year. As we felt most confident in just strike throwing from Noah Spolstra, our catcher. And typically when you do that, we needed somebody to step up and catch, so Pesky, the pitcher, just switched with him. Unfortunately, it does take a little bit of a delay as you kind of switch those two with all the gear and stuff involved.
Yep. Especially because, the starting catcher gear is always the nicer catcher gear. So Kita today, of the season, he's going to make his 13th appearance, his 10th out of the pen. He's 3-1, thrown 30 innings, a 1.63 ERA, just slightly better than Bry by .01. 23 strikeouts, 6 walks. Pitches to contact. He had 24. It's only 7 earned runs during that time.
One other part, just noteworthy, is the challenge that it poses when you throw 100 pitches and now you have to go catch. Again, it's not something you feel during the game, but it's certainly something that has an impact
within
on
5 minutes of the game ending, or as soon as you sit down in the dugout.
It's just a long day, and if we have another game in front of them here, if Gibraltar can pull this one out, again, I wouldn't be surprised if that factor comes into play later today. It's just a sore arm for one of your players.
Absolutely, and you feel like you just threw the shot put at the state track meet.
Yep. Here we go back to action. In for the bunt.
And it's a foul ball by Badoon.
Badoon, a very good bunter. Good athlete all around, but bunting is certainly part of his game.
He is 2 for 3, singled twice, scored a run back in the 4th.
Much as I know it makes you uncomfortable, Mike, I'd be bringing my third baseman a little tighter.
Well, I would be too. It just, I know from experience, and even, I still remember the most scared I've ever been at third base as he popped that bunt foul was summer ball playing against Clintonville and having to, oddly enough, a left-handed hitter against Jeremy Jerschley, or Justin Jerschley, I should say.
And here with an 0-2 count.
Playing on the grass, and he still hits a rocket at you.
They're going to stay up, even on an 0-2 count.
Hammerly did bunt with 2 strikes. And he bunts it. They got to let it roll. And that's a fair ball.
It dies on the chalk.
Quite, wow. A risky move with your leadoff man who's got 2 hits already with 2 strikes.
And you know what's coming next.
And they're going to do it again.
Here comes another bunt.
Absolutely. And Garski also with great speed. Wow. That you can't roll the ball. Because off the bat, it looked like it was going
it had a chance to roll foul. It was headed that direction.
It looked like it was.
It right on the line.
Like a piece of the chalk that was a little bit higher than the others. Almost.
I mentioned earlier, crazy things happen down a baseline.
Yep.
And here they're holding the runner on first. Now he's charging for the bunt.
And he fouls it off. Garski 2 for 3 as well. Drove in a run back in the 4th. But now, go-ahead run at second base with nobody out.
And again, holding the runner on first base and first and second is somewhat unusual.
And again, up the middle, wide open.
And it turns into a charge.
And he drops it down. That's going to be a fair ball. Long throw is not going to be in time. It's down the line. Flaker around. Here comes Badoon trying to score on the throwaway. The throw is going to be late and not made. And that's going to be a base hit for Garski. And E2 allows the 2 runs to score. And I think Garski was going to get second base either way.
Once the ball got away, he was going to second base.
But he also collided with the first baseman.
Yep.
Rounding. And now Hammerly drops down a bunt. It's another good one. That's going to be a base hit. 3 consecutive bunt hits. So we've seen 4 straight hits in the inning, and a ball has not left the infield.
That's high school baseball, especially in the playoffs. Obviously, a small ball matters, and this is the kind of stuff that's going to win the game.
This is the epitome of it.
Up to 11 hits now on the day.
An infield single that started the inning of Bry's final hitter, and then 3 straight bunts. And the throw back is bluffing the steal. Was Hammerly.
And that, of course, exposes Gibraltar's hand, what they're going to do on a stolen base.
Yeah, went back to the mound.
So now
you go.
And Pacelli knows, and they can comfortably take second base.
There he goes. It's outside, and this time they throw back to the mound, and taking it standing is Hammerly. 1-1 on Waimura.
And obviously that runner being at second now with nobody out, you're just a couple of ground balls away from that scoring. So a lot of ways that he can score now.
And again, the infield has to come in.
Yeah, they have no choice. For late in the game, he's got to come up.
Pulls it fair into right field, a base hit. 1 run is in. Hammerly around third. He will score. It's a 2-run single for Tomas Waimura. And a 4-run inning on 5 consecutive hits.
And it's all connected, Mike, just as we were saying. Now they have to come up, and the ball squeaks right past the glove of the first baseman, who, if he's back, you can handle that ball. So it's all related.
And that'll bring up Nate Hammerly. So now with a 4-run lead, it'll be 6, 7, and 8 in the 7th, as that bunt is fouled by Hammerly. He dropped down a sacrifice his last time up with 2 strikes. So twice today, Pacelli with 2 strikes has trusted their hitters to get the bunt down.
Yeah, and both times it's worked out well.
Yep.
So they're, if you think it's the right call and you trust in your players, of course it's easy to say you're right when it goes the right way.
You look like a genius when it works. Now he doesn't square, takes a strike. It's 0-2. Now do you do it again with 2 strikes?
I'd consider a steal instead.
And a little flare into left, a base hit.
He was on the move.
Uemura was running. With the ball into left, he will hold at second, and that is 6 consecutive hits in the inning. And it's the first ball that's made it out of the dirt. As we'll get a mound visit, and I wonder, do we... And they're going to make a pitching change. They're going to call in Bennett, Isaacson, Kruger.
Which again means we're going to have a rotation here, another catcher coming in.
Yep, Keita will go back behind the plate. We'll step aside as they get everything situated. It is now 6-2 Pacelli here on Zaleski Sports, presented by Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eau Claire.
Jane, I'm Steve from Security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
Get an 11.
Pitching change, Bennett, Isaacson, Kruger is in the game. He will throw. Bry goes to short. Bry now on hook for the loss.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
tough luck.
He didn't pitch poorly at all, right?
No.
It was just an infield single, a couple of bunts that didn't go his way.
After he had been
Tough luck.
pulled. He
Yeah,
did have the throwaway that brought in.
Yeah, it's still a tough play.
It's a tough play for him. Yeah, he probably should have held on to it.
It's
but
that sliding play too,
yeah.
where as a catcher in the gear, going away from home plate, sliding and having to pivot toward first. Trying to make the play. If the throw is on target, he gets the out, but it just sailed it.
Yeah, so it was an unearned run.
Expect a bunt here.
And Ranke takes one inside. Ball 1. Still nobody out as well.
Yeah, and again, that's the obvious reason. First and second, nobody out. It's typically a bunting situation. And with a 4-run lead, I don't see what changes. You still need to move the runners over, and you need to manufacture a few more here.
And they haven't shown they can throw you out with it, at least in this inning. Ranke brings it back and takes low. And again,
that's always scary, but it is the right thing.
It's the right move. Doesn't make it any less terrifying.
I wouldn't mind doubling down on it and just being safe, getting out of the way if he swings.
He takes a strike, 2-1. And again, sets up the defense. You see the wheel from short going over. So depending on where it was, they will try the force.
Yeah, there's always an opportunity to use base running instead of bunting, too. That's an option.
And there's a swing and a miss. And I could see the whites of the eyes from here.
Yeah, I mean, it's
with Lindenberg.
It's scary stuff.
So he'll play back at the edge of the grass.
Still up, still ready, just not quite as aggressive.
And a swing and a miss. There's the first out of the inning from Isaacson Kruger.
Third baseman, number 12, Sully Schober.
So here's Schober. He walked twice in the game. As well from our friends over at Delta Dental, one of the premier employers in Stevens Point, now hiring for multiple roles. Work in a fast-paced environment with a flexible hybrid schedule. Apply online now, deltadentalwi.com. That's deltadentalwi.com. Again, stay tuned. 4 o'clock, first pitch for the sectional final as of right now. Winner of this game taking on Lena. That's a good breaking ball just outside.
Good location for it, trying to get him to chase off the outside corner, but also a good piece of hitting to get a good look at it, track it all the way in.
Swing and a miss, foul tip into the mitt. 1-2. Up there as well, bottom 5. Edgar up 8-1 on Rib Lake. Germantown up 7-2 on Arrowhead. DC Everest up 6-1 on Eau Claire North. All games going on right now. That one in the dirt. In a sectional final in Blair Taylor in just a little bit, it will be Highland and Pittsville. You can find all those games again at ZaleskiSports.com. Popped back and out of play. And now, depending on how big this lead is, does Hammerly go back out there?
I would think he wouldn't. I
would think so. I wouldn't think either. I would think you go Waymura, close it out. So they did pull Waymura. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So they do have the pinch runner. It looks like Garrettson running. So Henry Garrettson running. So Waymura is now getting loose. So he will take the 7th. Hammerly threw 5 pitches. So he's in.
Which confirms that Hammerly will be starting game 2 and likely going as far as he can.
Yeah, he'll have 95 pitches to work with. There's a swing and a miss by Bryce Flaker, the 9th hitter of the inning. Yeah, Flaker was swinging for the school there. And we've seen our share over the years. That went down and away of balls hitting the school. I've only seen one go on top of the school. It was an Ashwaubenon kid a couple years ago in Legion ball. He hit one. We Google mapped the measure. It was 448. An absolute no doubter.
I've seen a lot of them disappear into the night sky.
That's
another part of this park. At night, games are just a ton of fun.
Not fun as an outfielder. He pops that one back and out of play. Very fun. That hit something.
Something got hit back behind us.
The welcome table just got hit. Hopefully nobody was sitting there. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, inning over. So Isaacson Kruger comes in, strikes out all 3 hitters that he faces, but 4 runs came across on 6 hits and 2 left. We go to the 7th. Pacelli now 3 outs away from the sectional final on Zaleski Sports, presented by Hoff Faber Real Estate Group.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
We move to the 7th. Hammerly is back out there. He will start the inning. He will face Lindgren, Rarica, and Emerson, 6, 7, and 8. Lindgren 0 for 2. He struck out twice against Opper. And Wildcats all sitting behind home plate. They're all here now, ready to go. Got about an hour from now would be first pitch. First pitch, strike. As that foul ball now here, it broke the welcome table. It's the Bills fans of baseball. As there's one that misses. As Sutter goes and looks at it, as there's a hole now in the table. There's a little flare into center. Carrying out to Garski, who's got to play, backing up a few steps, makes the catch for out number 1. 1 up, 1 down. So here comes Luke Rarica. She struck out twice against Opper. Opper went 5 2/3.
Gibraltar, Washington Island down to their last 2 outs. Still time, though. You put together a couple at bats, good things can happen from it.
100%. There's a swing and a miss. You got to get some base runners, though. You got to get to the top of the order. At this point, tying run would be Kita, who's due up in a few batters. As there's a ground ball to short, long throw is high and thrown away over the head of Opper.
It's a tough play. Again, that thick grass means you got to come up on it the way he did. And he was out if the throw was on the money.
So
just
an E6.
Sailed it a little.
So an E6 brings the runner. As here's Emerson. He has walked and hit a comebacker. So he fouls that one back, and it's 0-1. Yeah, still a good crowd, and also good to see a few St. Thomas Aquinas kids still out here watching the game.
Yeah, I saw a few still hanging out, watching the rest of the day of baseball.
Yeah.
You make the trip here, you might as well enjoy the game.
Agreed. As that breaking ball misses down and in, it's 1-1.
Emerson, of course, up to bat. Freshman that we noted earlier in the game had run really tough at bat against Corey Opper and started a rally in an inning. I don't know if it panned out to get any runs, but it was a nice inning that came from it.
So say Kelton Opper. If it was Corey, that'd be a difference.
Kelton.
That one misses in. If you got Corey throwing, that'd be something. The 2-1. Strike 2. 2-2. Again, stay tuned. We'll have your Nasonville Dairy postgame show after this one. And barring something insane, we will just have a quick wrap-up up here, get ourselves ready for the sectional final, give us a chance to unwind, get some food. Check swing, ground ball back to the mound. Hammerly throws a fastball to Opper for out number 2. Runner does advance. And the last chance is going to be Liam Lindenberg. And now you have to get Mineo to the plate.
Yeah,
the tying run.
At this point, you got to hand the baton, right? You got to pull your weight and then hand it off to the next teammate. You got to get some hits back to back to back here.
Yep, Mineo has to get to the plate. He would be the tying run. He is 3 batters away. Strike 1. And as things stand now, it looks like it'll be Pacelli and Lena. Sectional final action, 4 o'clock here from Memorial. Ground ball pulled foul off of the face of the dugout, and now the Vikings down to their final strike. Again, a 20-win season for Coach Jay Kita. And if this is his final game, congratulations on an awesome season, an awesome career, and an awesome program. That's a 54-foot curveball. So he gets the runner to third. And every run matters. That is a phrase I don't like. We're saying your run doesn't matter. It still does matter, but they're not going to try and throw you out.
No, I would say this is one of the rare cases where
it
doesn't really matter. One way or the other, the guy in the hole right now is the runner to worry about.
As he got him to duck away from a curveball and it misses just inside. Almost came back to the corner. That big looping breaking ball. Ground ball to short. Badoon is there, steps, throw, dug out, and it's under the glove of Opper. Another error brings in a run.
Just a couple of throwing mistakes here. With 2 outs, though, just got to keep your eyes open, breathe in between, and
now if
one more out to go.
Now if you are Gibraltar, Washington Island, seize on it. You've gotten 2 errors in the inning on ground balls to short.
Yeah,
it was a usually sure-handed shortstop.
Any way you cut it, hand the baton, right? Pull your weight first.
And now you go.
Job done.
Now you got the top of the order. Kita, who's been one of your guys all year long. Getting a 388 hitter. Tying run now on deck. Ground ball knuckling right back to Hammerly. He's going to underhand it, and this one is over. So a run does come in on no hits, a couple of errors, and a runner left. And it is Pacelli who is moving on. The Cardinals will take on the Lena Wildcats, 4 o'clock, your first pitch. We'll have your Nasonville Dairy postgame show to wrap things up here from the press box in just a couple of minutes on Zaleski Sports.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, We ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflatiri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflatiri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Just wrapping things up here quickly from Memorial. Again, stay tuned. 4 o'clock, first pitch, so 1 hour from now. It will be Pacelli and Lena, home team to be determined via coin flip. We will let you guys know, so stay tuned again. There'll be a new stream in just a moment. Bill and I will be joining you guys in just a little bit. So Pacelli wins this one, final score 6-3. Again, they move on. They will take on Lena at 4 o'clock. For that being said, we're going to say so long. This has been your Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Stay tuned. 4 o'clock will be first pitch for the sectional final here in Division 4. 4 teams came in for today. 2 remain. 1's going to Appleton next week. And you can find out at 4 o'clock on Zaleski Sports. We'll talk to you then.